Hi, everybody. It's Monica here again. And just wanted to jump in and say hello to you guys. And I hope you're doing great. Beautiful Sunday today. And so I wanted to jump in, talk a little bit about a bit of therapy. And then I have a question for you. And also wanted to answer a few questions that I'm getting a lot from clients. So if you're watching live, that's fantastic. Ask me questions. If you're not watching live, watching later, post your questions in the comments or DM me if there is something that you feel like maybe you want to ask privately. So wonderful. So let me start with this. So yesterday I posted a video on how to stretch the arms and hands and that entire upper body and the shoulders as well using a broomstick. I hope you tried it. Let me know how it went and if you liked it or not, or if you need more instructions. Maybe it was confusing. So I want to know how you feel about all this stuff. So the other thing, I wanted to add a couple things about treating hands and wrists because it seems to be like such a huge problem that's coming up for a lot of people. And like I said, I'm not surprised because we're on computers. I'm on the computer right now, obviously. So we on computers, we are using our hands and a lot, constantly. And they were really not designed for those fine movements like typing or typing on the phone. Our hands were not really designed like that. So a lot of people are suffering from wrist pain, hand pain, forearm pain, discomfort in the arms. So I wanted to show you a couple more things to kind of add on to yesterday's live. So one thing I wanted to add on is, remember in the 21-day challenge course, there's a class on how to stretch your fingers, and it's a beautiful technique. Let me show you, see if you can see. So I'm just grabbing on a joint here, whichever you want. So I'm going to stretch this finger, okay? So I'm just grabbing on the joint and I can twist a little bit, see which way it wants to go easier. And we like to move in the direction of ease a lot. So I love this because you can just pull a little bit on your finger and it may be a little uncomfortable. You can kind of see I'm leaning on the table right now. So just let yourself pull on that finger, or then you can extend. And the beautiful thing about it, why I love this technique, is that right now I'm actually feeling that pull all the way up to my shoulder. Okay, so it's a very interesting experience to start to experience the fascia connected through our body, connected all around through our body. And I just wanted to take a deep breath. Just realized I've been rushing all day today. So beautiful. It brings me back into my own body, which I so appreciate that opportunity to be here. So you can close your eyes and just sort of gently pulling and see like I sort of change the position of my arm. And I'm feeling it all there. I'm starting to feel a little burn all the way from my finger to my hand. So, I'm not going to go for 5 minutes because I have a bunch of other things I wanted to talk about. But I started to feel it all around through the hand up to my shoulder. So there's this practical way for us to start to understand our body being connected throughout, through that beautiful fascial web that is really constitutes our body, pretty much most of what we are. So it's a really beautiful, practical way to start to understand that concept that can feel abstract to us sometimes. The other technique for wrists that I like, and here you can use a chair, on a table, and I'm just clasping like a prayer position with my hands. Hope you can see. And then I'm going to choose, maybe I'm going to stretch my right. Okay, my right's tighter. So I'm just going to gently tilt my hands, still kind of in that prayer position, the namaste position from yoga, right? And I'm just pressing gently, and I'm not pushing down. We never push down, we never force, right? And I'm just gently pressing. And what I'm going to do, and I like for you to do that, maybe resting your elbows on the table or some sort of a surface to be more comfortable, but just want to show you. So what I'm starting to do is, instead of pushing down, I'm going to start to push a little bit out, as if I was dragging the other hand out. And I'm still keeping them clasped together. You don't want to have lotion on your hands because you're going to slide. We don't like to slide. Again, taking a breath, and you're allowing yourself to just kind of telescope, right? You drag this other hand out a little bit. So again, the left one's working, the right one is being stretched. And I'm stretching my hand, stretching into my wrist, just pushing out gently without pushing down, pushing out. So it's this sliding motion, right? Sliding out. And I'm waiting. So pick one of those today and play around. You can do the other side then, and do one of them at least for 5 minutes and tell me what you think, if that felt good. Which one did you like better? Okay, so pulling your fingers, just grabbing on the joint, pulling out a little, and the other one will be just sliding motion out. So you're stretching this whole area and your hand as well, right? Some people may have a problem actually opening the hand all the way. So it's okay to just kind of be a little bit closed, right? Beautiful. So these are just a couple things for your hands and wrists. I wanted to talk a bit about a subject that comes up a great deal for a lot of my clients and friends as well, because I think a lot of people are suffering from digestive issues. All right, and it's sort of almost like an epidemic in our society. You know, I just realized that my better microphone doesn't seem to be connected very well. So I hope you're able. Here we go. So I hope that you can hear me well. I'm just going to double check. Sorry, technical difficulties. Yep. Seems like it's working. Okay, fantastic. So let's go back to talking about digestive issues, because a lot of times, and I've over my the many years I've been working with clients, I keep on hearing my clients coming in. Awesome. And oh, hi Gary. Hello there. I'm so glad you're here. Tell me, was it working before? Were you able to hear me before as well? I hope. I hope so. Okay. So let's go back to talking about digestive stuff, because a lot of people, awesome. Yes, good. We didn't lose everything. You weren't just looking at me mouthing words. I'm glad. So what happens with digestive issues? And there can be anything, you know, constipation, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. And it's so common still. A lot of people are just sort of going between, like they cannot rely, it's hard to rely on your digestive system and your elimination system. We sometimes don't know what's going to happen. You may feel like, I really don't know if I can digest this food today, because maybe if I have dinner, I'm just going to feel really full and really uncomfortable. And, you know, we reach out for supplements and for herbs and maybe medication to help that. And that's okay. You know, sometimes we need it, but we don't look at the cause as much. And this is the problem, right? We don't always look at the cause of the problem. So, and I'm just going to talk broadly about digestion and why so much problems are coming up for many people from early age um, to later in, older people as well. So it's not just a specific age group. It's not just a specific, population. It seems like it's affecting a lot of people in all sorts of walks of life and all sorts of different ages. And I have to say that when I was young, much younger, I had a lot of digestive problems, and my fascia release was extremely helpful for me. So, and I was diagnosed with IBS when I was in college in my, early 20s, and doctors just gave me a bunch of fiber to eat, and it wasn't helpful. I have to tell you, it was making things much worse. So I was at a loss. I had no idea what to do with myself. It was pretty hard. I could barely eat the things, I couldn't go out for dinner and eat the things that I wanted to, or the others were eating. I always kind of felt awkward and socially awkward too, because I had to refuse, people's food, and I just felt very uncomfortable because I just never knew what's going to happen if I have this piece of steak or this salad or that apple, So my fascia release was extremely helpful over receiving it for many years. And so let's talk about how our digestive system works. And so we know that, we have the lower abdomen and then the stomach in a higher up. So there's a whole digestive tract. I'm sure you know how it looks like. And our medical system just really likes to focus on particular organs. Say, okay, well, maybe you have a stomach problem, or maybe you have a bowel problem, or maybe you have this or that, right? And what happens is we have to realize, and it goes for all the organs of our body, our entire body, is that all the organs are embedded and wrapped in that beautiful web of connective tissue, what we call fascia, right? So imagine all those sacs and of the stomach, of the intestines, of your liver, of your kidneys, even your bladder, all of it together is embedded in that web of connective tissue that's holding it together, that's providing support, but also that is conducting energy and supporting or hosting the blood vessels, hosting the lymph system. So all of it together is embedded in the system of the fascia. And as we just tried, say if I go back to pulling on my finger and I start to feel it all the way through, it's the connective tissue is connected. It wraps and holds our entire body. So imagine if there is a tightness, say on my lower abdomen or pelvis or pelvic floor, which is a huge issue for many people. That tightness creates that wrapping effect, pulls down and pulls the body out of shape in a way, and wrapping and compressing all the organs inside of the body. So if that goes for a long time or for some time, the organs that are actually embedded in the fascial system are becoming squeezed, misshapen. They're not getting blood. They're not getting oxygen. They cannot eliminate toxins. So our organs are being really pressed on, right? Are being really asked to work in very difficult conditions. It's as if, you were working outside in your garden in Arizona, in Tucson in the summer, and in 120 degrees, and somebody made you put like a very, very tight suit on. And so you could barely move, and then you would be sweating because it's so hot. So it's sort of like that's how our organs are feeling inside of that tight pelvic floor, that tight lower abdomen, all the fascia that's happening in there. So see if I can stand up and just kind of show you. I don't know if you can see me, but here we go. See? So if I squeeze my shirt, This shirt is not very good to squeeze, but I may break it. But if I start to like crinkle and wrap my shirt around, I'm putting pressure on my lower abdomen, and that's where I have obviously my intestines. So, and I believe that's what was happening to me when I was younger, is that I've had a lot of injury on my pelvis from different falls and different injuries. And I developed a lot of tightness throughout my pelvis and my lower back and my pelvic floor as well. And everything was so highly compressed that at some point I wasn't able to digest my food properly. And my body was sort of going out of order and getting really kind of crazy on me. So as I was getting my myofascia release and got a lot of work on my pelvis, balancing my pelvis so it's not twisted anymore, working on my tailbone, all things that got over time traumatized in some way. I started to get more space and my digestion improved. And I didn't even know that was going to happen. I didn't have a goal. I just wanted to feel better. And I really had no idea that was going to help. So if you are suffering from problems with your digestion, start to kind of think outside of the box. Maybe forget for a minute about which organ is what and why that organ is functioning badly or giving you some trouble. Think about where is it located? What's around it? How does that fascial system, how is your body organized around it? Are you having, maybe look at yourself and see, is your pelvis kind of twisted and scrunching everything? Are you having tightness in your glutes, in your lower abdomen? Do you feel like you're always kind of compressed? So then you can start to just remedy that problem by releasing, by stretching, by using pressure with the ball that we teaching here so much, and starting to release that pressure simply. A simple thing for today. If you want to continue your self-treatment after you've done your finger or your wrist, and kind of started to connect with that fascial connection with the body, maybe grab a ball and put it on somewhere around here on your lower abdomen. It's not going to hurt anything. You can also, if you're having stomach problems, you can put your ball right directly where the stomach is, right on the left side. I think that my video is going the other way, but so right under the ribs. Just remember to never put any pressure on your ribs. Okay, so play around and just use your ball, and you can go back to videos here in Facebook. If you don't have a ball, just look out for how to use the little 4-inch ball, and lay on your stomach and just put pressure on it. So I just want to assure you that unless you're doing something really violent, like really fast, you're not going to injure anything inside of your abdomen. Unless you've had surgery, unless you've had a hernia that's been repaired, then we don't put pressure on the hernia. But unless you just had like surgery a week ago, or if you've had an injury or something, is really medically unwell, then don't do it. But if you're reasonably healthy, just having digestive problems, grab a ball, and I'm actually going to go and find one for you to show you. And okay, where's my blue ball? Here we go. So grab a ball and just put it on your abdomen, right? Somewhere. And then you're going to, wherever it feels tight, taut, or tender, and then lay down on the floor and just put pressure and just wait. And I always recommend to stay for at least 5 minutes with this little ball, okay? So please go back. There is a lot of videos here on Facebook, on the Facebook group, where you can watch this again, or just reach out to me. Tell me, I'm going to attach it for you. No problem. So we talked today about a lot of different subjects. Have a lot on my mind to share, but remember that what I wanted to kind of convey today as a message is that it's very helpful to go outside of the box and stop focusing so much on just one single things inside of our body, because our organs do not function separately from everything else. And we got to think about what they are living inside, and they're living inside the fascial system, the connective tissue that wraps and holds and nourishes everything within the body. Okay, so the first step to help ourselves if we're suffering from some problems, like digestive problems, is to start releasing that fascial system, but by putting a bit of pressure on it and then waiting for at least 5 minutes. So please go back to some videos where I talk about how to do your self-treatments if you don't remember. Try out some of those exercises. Let me know how this goes for you and which ones were helpful. And also let me know always what are your questions? What would you like to learn? Because there's so many things that we can talk about. Okay, and then just to sum up, because I have something super exciting that's happening, and it's gonna take a while, but we have a show coming up with different experts and people in the wellness and health area who have tremendous amount of wisdom and knowledge, and they all going to be interviewed to help you step onto that path of self-empowerment and feeling great in your body and knowing how to heal yourself rather than only always relying on experts. So I have this coming up and I'm very excited. So I have 2 questions for you if you want to help me. All right, if you want to help me, that'll be awesome. So question number 1, do you have a burning question, like a really, really, really important question that's really like you want to have answered about your health, about your well-being in your body, how you can feel better, how you can treat your body better, anything that's related to health, well-being, wellness, living the best out of yourself, living just the best life in your body. Okay, the burning question about your health and wellness, what would that be? Just share one question. And the second question is fun. So if there's one person that you always admire, follow, somebody within that health and wellness area, you know, a coach, a teacher, a yoga teacher, whoever you feel they are very, very helpful and they've been helpful for you over many years maybe, and that you always wanted to talk with them and ask them something. So tell me, who is that person for you? And I would prefer that they are still alive. Okay, so please tell me, who would you like to interview? Who would you like to ask your burning question? Okay, so please to connect with me. I would just love to hear about it. What is your burning question about how to live healthy in your body? And number 2, who is a person that you really admire and that would be extremely helpful to ask that question to? And let me know. And you just put in the comments or email me, whatever you would like to do, or DM me here on Facebook. So I would so appreciate your help. This is going to be super fun, because if you tell me that person, who that person is, you may as well see them answering your question. So see you next time. I'll be on next week, and have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. Thank you, Gary, for watching today on video. I really appreciate it. Take good care of yourself.